What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. Alright guys, we're going to be covering two things today. Brand new priority levels on shadows, who you should prioritize, where you want to place them, why you want to use them. I'm going to go through that full explanation for you. It has changed quite a bit actually since Serbia has been added. And then we're going to talk about the brand new event, and we're going to do a summon here just to talk a little bit about how this has been going. Now, the summer event itself, let's just start with that. They have done the NERFS, by the way, so if you have not had a chance to go and do so, I suggest you do it. Go into the summer vacation. You can now do the summer crash bosses. You guys can see here, if we go all the way down to chapter 2 and do tier 7, it now is only 123k versus 500k. Yes, that's right. They dropped it by 5 times the amount almost. So let's get this done, get ourselves some tickets, and do some summons, and talk a little bit about the summer event. So how has this been? I'm going to be real with you guys. This event itself has been fantastic. I love the event. I love the mini games. I think they're a lot of fun. They're frustrating at times, but it's just a breath of fresh air to do something different, like the little, the back and forth party games, breaking the watermelon, etc. I think all that stuff is fun. They did mess this one up, obviously, and then they fixed it. That was a quick correction. Shout out to them for doing that quick. But I will say, there have been a lot of bugs, okay? So I want to point out a couple things real quick regarding some of these bugs and what I'm referring to. So first off, shout out to Hyrulean, who is one of my biggest testers, Ale also, and then Wanderer, who have been doing a lot of testing for some of the newer outfits, newer artifacts, right? So there have been a lot of issues with percentages. So for example, the Warmonger percentages were all off. Day one, they did a lot of testing, and they found that the percentages were small on the 2 set and then high on the 4 set compared to what was written. And then there was also the Peridot set there, the Sylph Blessing set, that the percentages on there were off as well too. So we were finding a lot of issues with the sets and the percentages. But today, oddly enough, they found a lot of them were fixed because they did a lot of testing. I can show you guys some numbers later on if you need to, but apparently they were fixed because they've been doing a lot of testing behind the scenes. And a shout out to those guys. They do a lot of good work, and they help me out, obviously, keep on top of things when I can't. So this whole release has been riddled with bugs and apparently shadow nerfs. We all talked about those shadow nerfs already with MSA and all those. Those were corrected. Now, these artifacts that I'm referring to were apparently also shadow nerfed and fixed today because they went back and did some testing again. And it looks like the percentages are now all of a sudden mostly good, except for the new healing one, which the damage increase is actually higher than they're stating. It's not 8%, it's actually 15%. Now, remember, most of these testings are done with 99% precision. Most of these testings are done with a lot of data and a lot of back and forth between other content creators and players to make sure the validity of them. So whatever's going on with Netmarble this time around, they're coming out with, they're not doing enough quality assurance testing. They're coming out with products that have a lot of bugs, and it's up to us as the players yet again to do a lot of the testing. So I really hope they change this whole mentality of release first, test after, because really that's not how you do things in the IT world successfully, at least. And you guys are not a small indie company. Like, it needs to be done better. There needs to be better effort and quality and assurance and testing, because at the end of the day, like, your clients and your customers, which is us, should not be the ones to find these problems, right? We're not testers. We don't get paid as testers. That is why you have a testing team for the most part, and they should be the ones to deal with this, not the other way around, where we are the ones who are your production testers. We don't test in production. That's exactly the opposite of what you do. This is why you have a testing environment, control testing environment, which, by the way, you don't give us. So that alone is a problem. So there you guys go. Complete, super easy now to complete this. We got a multi there. Now I don't know if you saw this in the beginning of the video. I did also have a multi from, I got 2 extra passes from the battle pass, the free battle pass that we have, right? So by hitting level 25. So we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can get ourselves a quick summon in here, and then we're going to talk about shadows. Now, I think this is going to be an important topic. I do want to cover it because there has been a new, I'd say a new pecking order for shadows, and I want to discuss what it is and how to use it. Let's just see what these are. Obtain 4 advanced mana crystals. Sure, we can do that. That's easy. Let's go ahead and grab these right there. Should be grabbing those anyways. Very important to craft. There we are. Do we have enough? We need 1 more. So we need to do the minigame. Okay, I'll do the minigame later. We'll get the Libora outfit, okay? So, shadows. Shadows. I want to talk about this because this is important. So, the new pecking order for shadows is now a little bit different, okay? It used to be Igris or Tusk or Blades as your leaders, and then you'd use Iron and whoever. Now, Serbi plays a major role. All right. Now, I would never put no, I shouldn't say the word never. That's a little too extreme. I would not be using Cerberus as the main unit here for the crit damage. It's very low in my opinion. For me personally, being a free-to-play player in this case, I'd be using either Igris if I'm planning to use SJW, or I'd be using Tusk if I'm planning to use Alicia for my main DPS. For the most part, she's my main DPS. Or again, back to Igris on my hunters if I'm using Mirai or Cha, right? So that part hasn't changed. Your two main guys will always remain these two. Blades is an exception if you're above if you're in the white or above the CP level and you're not suffering from crit damage or crit rate issues, then I would use Blades as my main unit. But you guys can see here, still only attack increased by 3. Where it now changes a lot is with your actual combination of other ones. So if you look here, here's my managed team. This is how your shadow should always look. And I mean always look at this point, okay? You're looking at having Serbi here always as number 2 or 3, doesn't matter which place you place them. And the reason why is if this combustion move, right? This combustion move has now become a game changer alone. And this is, my complaint about Serbi originally was that I wanted them to fix the crit hit damage, but quite honestly, this alone is worth having because number one, you do fairly decent damage, but combustion is a game changer in the fact that it does 50% damage every 3 seconds. But then here's where it gets really good. It increases damage taken by 5%, and it's an infinite duration, which means the entire fight, as soon as you summon, which you should be summoning almost right away, as long as they don't get killed, Serbi should be your number one go-to for any form of damage increase, because that damage increase by 5% for an infinite amount of time is going to give you an insane push. And it also stacks with punishment, right? And it also stacks with Liboros Charm or any other damage increase. So very powerful, like even the armor break with Wind one, all of that stuff stacks. This should be your number one go-to now going forward. So if you have not summoned Serbi because you're afraid of this little, the trait, never put Serbi, not saying never, but don't put Serbi as your main authority. Have him as a second or third. Very important, okay? Now, your go-to general is going to be this guy here afterwards, right? So let me go back, sorry. I don't know when that happened. There he is. Okay, and that's going to be Iron. And the reason why Iron is here, and we've discussed this many times, is because when Iron gets summoned, he has the opportunity to decrease the defense by 12% on your opponent for 10 seconds. And that's an important one because when you're using hunters, for example, you don't always get the opportunity to have somebody with that ability in place. So you want to bring somebody that can do that to make it harder. Makes Vulcan very easy to do, a lot easier to do, especially on hunter mode. And also when you don't have Shadow Step Up or you don't have a defense down move, this is the go-to unit for shadows that you want to use. So this is pretty much always going to be your setup, right? Now, the only difference, again, is going to be Shadow Authority. Depending on who you're using, it's either going to be Tusk, Igris, or Blades. For the most part, I go with these two. But again, if you're above the CP and your crit's not an issue, Blades is a great option. If you're using Alicia or anybody with core damage, you want to use Tusk as your main option. So those are your main Shadow Authorities that you want to use. Okay, now that we've done all this, let's go ahead and do a quick little summon and see what we get, if we get anything lucky, and go from there. So we should have enough, I think, for at least one multi. I'm not going to use any crystals because I'm saving that. We have enough for one multi. And my 26 out of 80. Let's see if my luck persists. All right. So we are going to now summon for, let's pray to God I get an Alicia. Or another Westwind would be nice. If I don't get an SSR. Okay, so no SSR unless it's a fake out. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Let's go. Moment of truth. I'm always now curious if I'm gonna get a fake out or not. All right, so we got the Demon Knight Spear, and not bad. I'll take an Orb of Avarice. I only got an A2 orb, so that is not a bad pull. Actually, I'm more than happy with that one. So there you guys go. Now, if you plan to summon, obviously, best of luck to you. Make sure you go in and get the rest of these summon tickets. Like, I'm gonna be able to get 2 more here, so I'll be missing 1. So here, and a lot of people wondering, how did I get so much more summons since my 1660 or 1660 that I had before? Well, I mean, they're giving away summon tickets like they're candy and brand new content, right? I've been finishing up all the brand new content. There have been a lot of the ticket drops from the free battle passes. We've had a lot of them given away, like the Vulcan clears, etc. There's been a lot of ways to get yourself more summons. So you should be racking them up, or you should be using them to multiply and boost up your account as much as you possibly can. All right, guys, this is Payne. thank you so much for watching. If you're struggling on this, look at this, 18 seconds, not too damn shabby, right? Let me know and I can do a video on this as well for you if you don't know what you're doing. Or you can just, let's just do it one time here and see what happens, okay? Hold on, let me use this. All right, let's go ahead and use Alicia. I hate that she targeted that. Like, why did you have to target that? Why not target the proper place instead? Let's bring in Libora here. Do a little bit of quick damage. Bring back Alicia. Boom. Look at that. Destroyed. Destroyed. You guys see that? Crazy, crazy, crazy fast. 17 seconds. Beat the last one. You can probably even do it faster. I just messed up a few times there. I targeted the wrong section. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.